We'll be speaking today about we'll be speaking today about Amuna and Betachon, which both sounds like the same thing, but at the end of the day it's two separate. People think that Amuna has Betachon, Betachon has Amuna. As how Betachon has Amuna. It's not that way. The Rambam says a person can have Amuna doesn't mean he has Betachon yet. But any person that has Betachon has Amuna. So we have to know where is the difference between Amuna and Betachon. What is actually Amuna? When you get to Betachon. To explain it in a paradigm, in a motion, is just like a person. Just like a person goes to a circus and the guy gets up on the top and says, anyone believe that I can go through from one side of the circus to the other circus, the other side on a rope? And everyone says, yes, sure, we believe. Believe that I can dance on it? Everyone says, yes. Do you believe that I can run on it? Sure. Who's ready to go on my shoulders? Then suddenly everyone stays stuck. That means he has a minna, but doesn't have yet Betachon. But when a person has Betachon and he goes on the shoulders of a person, then he must have a minna too. So where's the minna, that special minna that will bring me to Betachon, and the regular minna which doesn't bring me to Betachon? This week there's a shiur that speaks about the whole concept of Yosef. Asher Gever, Shesom Hashem Miftachu Zeh Yosef. He didn't say Zachartani Vizkartani, then he lost it. So if he says Yosef was a big Bal Betachon, so how come did he say Zachartani Vizkartani? In the place for the Shtei Shunim. So he had Betachon or didn't have Betachon? Asher Ger Shesom Hashem Miftachu Zeh Yosef. That means he had Betachon. But the minute he said Zachartani Vizkartani, he had to add him on 2 years. Actually, to add on the Amuna, he should have Betachon. So Yosef had the Betachon, but was missing some sort of Amuna here that he had to add on. It's sitting there 2 years. So what was added on? And B'chlal, the whole kasha, there's ishtadlus a person has to do. On the other side, it says, B'tachu olav, hu yaseh. When you have a Betachon, the Baruch is doing everything. So am I doing, or is he's doing? I can do something, but because Baruch says, even though I'm doing it, is Berachtichu, so it's okay that I'm doing. And here we say only B'tachu, then hu yaseh. That means there's certain times that something has to be done, and it won't be done not only from a minute, it has to be also with Betachon. So what is added on? What type of a minute is added on by Betachon that we didn't have in the first place? And a minute that should be Betachon of who you asked that the Baruch should do for us things. So Shiur brings down a Bachaya. Bachaya explains in Shara Betachon, Chayav Salvuvas, this week in Chai and Bashas Miketz, he puts out 7 levels of Betachon, and then the 8th level, which is the highest level of Betachon. Then a person comes to total Amuna that he has such a Betachon too. So he starts off, a small child is born, it says Maftichi, als dei imi. Small child has no idea who the mother is, has no idea there is a mother. All he knows he needs milk, and when there's a time there, he believes in it and he gets the milk. As once he starts growing, he sees there's a mother here, so he's able to let go of the milk and rely on his mother, that his mother's going to bring him food. But before he knew there's a mother, he didn't even know he could rely on a mother. That means right now he sees as a mother, so that's a mina. That means a person, the psui erze sometimes I can see it, even though even though he wasn't able to see it before, but now he sees it. And the more he sees erze, the more, even though he doesn't know what it is, he comes to Betachon. Then says the Chayyus, suddenly he sees there's a father around. Oh, but he couldn't go to the father before he recognizes the father around. So once he recognizes the father around, now I'm going to rely on my father. The Betachon, a minna, is something that I have a clearness, that I see it, which is called nir, even though I don't see it. But Roya also has a pshat in the Gemara, nir diver admo. It makes sense. It's also, I have such a clear vision in my understanding, such a clear vision, my believing, that it makes sense, even though it's far from making sense. But I take it for granted, and I can rely on my father too. The same things with the Bernstein. Sometimes a person doesn't see anything, but every Yid is born with a minna. But when it comes to a spot that he doesn't understand, he doesn't have the minna, then he's missing his betachon there. And this is something that is built up all along as a person lives. He's building his minna. My minna from yesterday is not the minna from today. The tzaddikim used to say, "Shelo yasani goy." Why? Because what I believed yesterday, today like a yid. And yesterday I was a goy. The next day they see the minna from yesterday like a goy, and suddenly they see a Kodesh Baruch Hu, but they didn't recognize that before. So he keeps on going. The same thing is when suddenly the child sees he can do things on his own, doesn't need his father. He starts relying on himself. Suddenly he sees he needs rain. So he sees there's not only human beings, there's someone out there that brings rain. So he starts relying on the rain. And suddenly he sees there's hard things. So he asks, you know what? I know you're bringing rain, which is much harder. Make my hard things easy too. And at the end, he decides that actually, so why work so hard? We start believing that the easy things are also a bunch, which that is, again, as Molly has it, the amina. Amina means he sees the amina, he lives with the amina. So then the betachon is also there too. But the 8th madrega of betachon, which actually, as we said, the total betachon is when I see things working out and it just doesn't work the way I thought it would work. It works just the opposite way around. He calls it, when a person comes to such a place that he doesn't understand, we always know that Kodesh Baruch Hu is only Toiv Hashem Lakoim. As long as he sees how good the Rebbeinu Shalom is, so he's going. But once he doesn't see the good, and then he gets disturbed, as the Chazon Ish says, that the whole Holocaust took a lot of people off the derech of Amina, because they were sure, if I believe, things have to go good. But at the end of the day, they see that it's not going the way they wanted, so they might as well dump it, the whole Amina. That means Amina itself is not enough. I have to live something which is called Hashgucha Prutis. Hashgucha Prutis means that I am being taken care of, just like a special mission from the B'Sholim B'Shvili Niv. Every one of us, he puts us wherever I am, what I need. He's taking care of me, and when he's taking care of me, I have no problem to think that it's good. Why? Because the is actually Toiv Hashem. So as long as I know that I cannot reach anything without him giving it to me, that means even the Pusik says, Minusan lemeshisa yankev, even when things go wrong, haloi Hashem zi, we say that in Yeshaya. That HaKadosh Baruch is poil, emes, and minah. He is the one that does everything in minah. And may I keep on believing. Why? Because HaKadosh Baruch is toiv hagunis, even though I don't understand. Even though I don't understand what's good about it, I can't understand what's good about it. But that I can't understand doesn't mean that there is no good. It is because I cannot come to the understanding of the B'nai Shlem. The B'nai Shlem is Eine Guf, the Eine Mesige Guf. I cannot see him. I can only illusion, as we said, Dimyan. That's the B'nai Shlem. But since I have a solid understanding, a solid believing that HaKadosh Baruch is only good, so then my believingness can bring me also to Betachon, that I don't lose myself, even though I don't understand. I'm not able to stand. As we said, Zebusha said, Animam v'min shlema, shakadosh baruch hu eine guf, v'eine masige guf. As long as I myself have to come to a stage that my guf is itself not a guf. What does that mean? Because a human being himself is what is called a udam. Why is it called a udam? Odom is called because it's looking from Adame le'elyon. I actually can compare myself le'elyon to the B'nai Shlem, because Baruch created a human being. So the human being actually is Betzalmeni, Yekid Miseni. We have three things that we are, just like a malach, and there are three things we're just like a behemoth, the lowest part. That means the body and the soul. So actually a person looks at himself as a Metzias, as a fact that he's here. But the B'nai Shlem is the real Metzias. We call the Metzias Hamiti. So what is the human being? Are we a Metzias or we're not a Metzias? Are we something that's a fact or not? The Metzias, we're also Metzias, but we're not a Metzias from a Mitis, we're a Metzias which is called Nivro. We are creation. There's the creator, which is the Amiti, and there's the creation, which comes out, derives from the true creation, from the Metzias Amitis. But we, as we are, we're only a koyach from the poil, but the poil itself, even though we're using it, it's only with the koyach that HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives us. To make it a little easier, there's always the outer part and the inner part. But the B'nai Shlem Kaviyuchum is inner part. We have no idea. Eine gif, eine mesige gif. In order to create the world, HaKadosh Baruch Hu made a certain understanding, a certain prototype. It's built with names, Atzilis, Bria, Yetzirah, Asir, all the way down to this world. Then every place we can express ourselves. That means even I can express myself, but how much I express myself, it's actually the koyach, the whole strength comes from the B'nai Shlem. The B'nai Shlem is hidden altogether, so actually it's only a dimya for me. All I can do is believe. All I can do is a adamchu. I cannot understand it, but I can use that binyon, Adam le'elyon, in order to believe that there is a Metzias Amitis out there, even though I cannot see him and I can't understand him. But through believing, it's just like Nepsuri Erzelekai. But how do I get there? I have a problem, because Baruch created me in such a way that there is no way that I should believe when I feel that I'm the one that's doing everything. That means the Teva, on one side, HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave nature, and that HaKadosh Baruch Hu, who's the truth that's holding it up? The HaKadosh Baruch Hu is holding it up. It's just hidden in there. Why the HaKadosh Baruch Hu do in such a way that it's hidden? We should have the B'chir. Because if HaKadosh Baruch Hu would be revealed in this Olam HaTeva, then we wouldn't have B'chira. Nobody would dare do something against the Rebbeinu Shalom. Just like they say, a person who's past the red light, the cop stops him. Why did you pass the red light? Didn't you see me here? Didn't you see the sign? Yes, I saw the sign, but I didn't see the cop. That means if we would see the Rebbeinu Shalom, then nobody would go through the red light. So the HaKadosh Baruch Hu made this world. There should be a boyer, there should be a niver, and the niver should surrender himself that there is a boyer, even though I don't see the boyer. The HaKadosh Baruch Hu hides himself in this world, which is called Teva. And our work is to work with ourselves against the nature and live that is something beyond the nature that keeps me going, the Olam HaTeva. But since a person is all himself synced in to daily work, daily thinking, whatever I think, whatever I understand, whatever I see, which hence the Yevuna, which are going into Hanukkah, try to disturb that. Only seeing is believing, but if you don't see, it's not believing. So the HaKadosh Baruch Hu has to help us that even if I don't see, I should be believing too. So how can he help us? Since I feel myself a Metzias for myself, how can I go over to the Metzias of the HaKadosh Baruch Hu, which a person is a Metzias, but he's not a Metzias Amitis. He's only the Metzias from the Nivro. So when things go smooth and everything goes fine, so I don't need it. I don't need a minute and nothing to force me to think about this Rebbeinu Shalom, because everything is fine. I can talk about him. Why not? It's a nice thing. It's I say these days it's cool, but everything is going fine. So why should I break my head and start thinking about the Rebbeinu Shalom? And slowly a person forgets Bechal. He has to think about the Rebbeinu Shalom. Why not? The Shoshone and Kippur, we're all in, and we see everything is Moidani, Lefanechu, as Rush used to call it, Mas Fatayim, lip taxes, paying with his lips, but he's not living it. The HaKadosh Baruch Hu has one way that we shouldn't forget him. Why should we forget him? Because the person came here for a tachlis. If he's going to run around here half behind and half malach will come there, the half behind won't have what to look for there. That means we have to turn over our teva also into malach. And the way to turn a teva into malach, if I'm not forced to it, because once a person starts suffering for something, and the suffering actually HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives it because he has chesed, he has rachmim, because olam chesed yebuna. Even though my eyes suddenly are in a dilemma, things will go so smooth, why did it go wrong? But it moves me every time that I come to my powerless, every time I come to my feel myself that I cannot overcome, that's actually forcing me to connect to my higher power. That actually, because Baruch Hu reminds me that I shouldn't live so sure of the outside of the teva. I should start doing, the Buddha calls it avoida. That means anything that comes easy, we say goes away easy. Money that comes easy goes away easy. Everything that comes easy goes away easy. But something that you build yourself, which is called avoida, which avoida is something we have to toil for. And what is the toiling of a person? The Melech says, Toivli ki inesi leman el madchikechu. How good it is for me that from time to time, inesi, he gives me a tickle, but the tickle is there not to downgrade me, it's to uplift me to my next level of a minna. Leman el madchikechu. I should remember to live with the Rebbeinu Shalom, how to live with the Rebbeinu Shalom in this world, that He is the one that's take me everywhere, and I cannot do anything on my own. Because the whole Teva is, we should turn over the Teva also to Me'ala Teva. And even when in nature, we should always say, Morabi, Masechu Hashem, Kilam B'choch Mosiso. We should always keep on going. That means the Teva from a person is, as long as the things are smooth, will go around, I won't think about anything. But once things don't go the way things, then you just start thinking, there is something here that has to be changed. That means the only way I can get out of my metzius, as I called before, that I'm a real metzius and see that I'm not the real metzius, I'm only, the Bernstein is the real metzius, that only when my whole metzius turns into an illusion, turns into a dimyan. When is my metzius turn into a dimyan, into illusion? This is only suddenly when things don't go the way that I understand. So then I'm ready to live with the illusion. What says the bullshit, it's very dangerous then. Because when a person has to leave the old way, we're so stubborn, that we're still trying to feel that I have control in that. That's where tefillah comes in. Tefillah comes in, the bunch will help me in those seconds that I should live with you, and I shouldn't keep on myself feeling that I can be, but I start blaming what we were speaking last week about. I start blaming others, or I go into you, as you call it, atzvus, or I go into efkeres. This is all a procedure of gava that I'm not ready to surrender to the Rebbeinu Shalom. So then is our whole, this one side, the dimyan, is a dangerous minute that I can fight myself and don't have chaos into atzvus. On the other side, I'm ready. I'm ready now to go over from the dimyan that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is running the world. Where the Pusik says, Pesi Yaman. Anyone that is a Pesi, he starts believing. But anyone that's not ready to see his Pesi, that he doesn't understand, he cannot understand, he'll never go over the Termina. Why? Why do I have to be a dimyan? Why do I have to be a Pesi? As we said before, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is not a gift. You cannot be masigim as a gift. So actually, so what is the Yetzer Hara trying to do to me? He has to do two things in order to get me off the track. First, the Baruch Shalom is helping me and giving me a certain kitzla, as we said before, it gives me a tickle. And then the Yetzer Hara starts working. He knows from one side, it's very dangerous. You're going to go into minna, you go into betachon. And as we said last week, Yetzer Hara means a painting, a tziyur. He makes you a paint of Ra. And our avoid is it's a paint of good. So those minutes, what does he do? He breaks me. He calls it shvira sakelim. He breaks my whole tools, breaks my whole that keeps me going, that I can't even think anymore. Why? I shouldn't use my tools to color it in the right color. When a person has in those minutes, those minutes, all you have to go is with the sort of betachon that I understand, that I don't understand. Then I get a new betachon, which gives me much stronger than what I was before. But as long as a person doesn't go through this, he doesn't get to the next level of betachon. That means what gives a person koyach? They shouldn't get broken. He shouldn't fall down atzvus and yish, because that is usually the manual that he picks out. That instead of working, he falls into atzvus and yish as long as he feels he's in control. Avoid is not, as we said, the meal. Don't let yourself fall down, and automatically this procedure of going out that I'm doing, that the Rebbeinu is going, it's very scary. It's very dangerous. It's not a stam uchoma. The Torah tries to chap the person in. As the Melech Amar says in Tehillim, Ani amarti b'shalvi. The terror from a person is when he feels himself okay, shalev, everything is going smooth. So any person, the terror says, even though the Melech says, Al emet lo'elam, I'll never fall down, because that's the way HaKadosh Baruch Hu created that the Teva thinks Teva is Teva. But the minute HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants me to bring closer to him, is V'meila, he brings me a very small design. He starts uponechu, he just hides his face. Hu yisi nivel. Suddenly I find myself all disturbed, all in anxiety. But that anxiety, that is what gives me the weakness that I can't stand there. But I have to know that same anxiety can also give me fight for my rights, fight for my next level, because when a person is in a danger, he'll always fight for what's right. He won't let the danger happen. So the main mechumah against the Yitzhahara is don't let yourself be schlepped down into years and atzvus after you fell through, because it's very easy for a person but to fall in, because that is Teva itself. Atzvus looks like maybe he's sick, but it's like a sickness that goes into the person and you can't get it out so fast. And once a person wishes to call it, it's a geschmack there when a person is in Yish, that he just doesn't want to go out of there. So that's actually says the Priuritz. Yosef HaTzadik this week came to such a place of Asher Ager Shesam Hashem Eftachli. Zeh Yosef. He built his betachon. That's clear. He built his betachon. You see, all along, his brothers were hating him, and he don't find anything. Now he doesn't find anything against them. He even goes after them. As Acher Anochim Mevakish, and they throw him into a pit. You don't hear peeps on him, and he gets to Mitzrayim. The first thing when you get in a new place, first thing you want to know where the bathroom is, you know where the food is, you want to know where your room is. So Torah says when he got to the house of Betiva, the first thing he was looking for Vahi Hashem es Yosef. Where is the Rebbeinu here? I don't see him, but he must be here, because if I'm here, he's the one that brought it to me, then automatically it was Ish Matzliach. And this all went along till he got into jail. Got into jail again. Vahi Hashem es Yosef. So when he starts out the jail, the Rebbeinu is there. It's Hashem Matzliach b'Yudai. And we find at the end of the parasha that he's coming to this biggest betachon that can be, that even he sees the two ministers have a dream, and he asks them, Madia Paneichem Ruam Hayoim. Why do I see that your faces are today so down? So the Forshim asks, what do you mean? Who's so happy to be in a jail? So what does he ask him? Madia Paneichem Ruam. Well, the answer is, it says in the Pusik, Madia Paneichem Ruam Hayoim. That means when Yosef was in the jail, everybody in the jail got his simcha, because when you radiate with simcha, when you radiate with betachon, and you're sure that the Rebbeinu is with you every second, a person comes to the greatest nikid of simcha, because he's not worried about the next second. He's even happy now too that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is with him. Whatever he needs, he has it right on the spot. So he radiates to the whole surrounding simcha. And when Yosef got up one morning and he saw he he saw that the ministers in jail are all broken. So he asked them, "Adia Penechem Hayoim, what happened today? That it's what happened today that you're suddenly Penechem Ruam. Yesterday you were happy, so it has to be. I have to do another work even further in." Once they told him this dream, then suddenly Yosef starts thinking, "Well, for a minute, I have here a chance. So let's do some ishtadlis." So he did a shtadlis. It's okay that he did the shtadlis. But says under the Tepska, but to get him out of there, because he brought into the jail. He wants to be in such a place that such a betachon, when things go just the opposite way around, he'll also keep on going with the Rebbeinu Shalom, and maybe he'll build his amina as Asher Agev Asher Som Hashem Eftachon. Someone else wouldn't be in such a madrega as Yosef Tzaddik, as he came to say, even when he's in jail, where he Hashem as Yosef, he came to such a place that he was able to radiate his simcha to the whole jail. Everyone was uplifted. Now Kodesh Baruch Hu needed him that he should uplift all Mitzrayim, he should uplift all the Shift Tekoi, he should uplift everybody. Then we have to go one more step with him. Another person would do that and say, the Chatani is Katani, it's fine, it's okay, you can do it. Yosef Tzaddik, when it came to the Chatani is Katani, Kodesh Baruch Hu wanted to help him to get closer to the minute, which sort of a minute that brings the Betuchen. The minute that brings Betuch has to be a minute that when things go just the opposite around. What did I do wrong? I'm all along with a minute, all along with Betuch. You can check the last 20 years. I never got angry at my brothers, never got broken. I was always there with the Rebbeinu Shalom. But then again, he understands that I cannot understand the Rebbeinu Shalom. My whole mind up there is not bigger than the palm of my hand. The Rebbeinu Shalom is Ein Sof. And I know the Rebbeinu Shalom does good. So when the Rebbeinu Shalom does good, there must be good in this. So that brought him to the next level of Betuchen, that he was able to take him out of this jail. He took him out of jail, but he took out the whole Claudius of jail up to this day. The Yosef is the Mashber Bo. Every time a person needs that amena, he's getting it from Yosef Tzaddik. That's made of Hashem Geva Shesom Hashem Eftachon. The Yosef, it's true, but because Yosef was such a minna, so then I can take him to the next stage. As we said, the stages of a minna is something that you cannot get it in a second. It's something that you build it all your life along, but step by step by step by step. Every time it's another step. Yosef Tzaddik starts off with his mother passing away, and then with his brothers. This is actually Chanukah. Chanukah, we say Kofsa Ein Zukiklo. When a candle goes out, Stam Pshat, we say we don't have to put it on again. But Chassidish Sfurim explained it even deeper. Kofsa, every time that a person loses it, he thinks things were out, he should know, Ayin, the Rebbeinu, which is the Ein Sof, Zukikla. He wants to bring you to the next level, which he couldn't bring you to the next level without going through this kofs, without going through this. So maybe we're coming to, I'll end with a small story that the Maggid from Mezrich, which was the Yutzat we spoke about last week, came into a house of somebody, and he saw the person put on candles of 702 candles. The Maggid asked the person, 702 candles for Shabbos in the house, it's a smoke. He says, yes, Shabbos is Shein Bais Tov. So it's a gematria of 702, Tov Shein Bais. So he puts on every week 702 candles. The Maggid told him to put on a candle, a chatzonistic candle, it's enough 2 candles. It's just you that the question is what do you believe in? And once you believe in the pnimius, you can turn on the whole whole Shabbos, that it can light up yourself, can light up the whole world. That is actually the candles. The same thing is, and it's less, it's more. You go around these days with Chanukah and all over is lit up because they're trying to copy us. In every house you go through and certain places, it's all lit up with all these lights blinking all the time. And you go through a Yiddish shtiv, there's a small candle. Why? That small candle, even though it's small, it lights up much more than all these candles. Because we say, Yisron, ha'or min ha'choshech. Dafka the choshech that I come to has a certain lightness which with the all doesn't have in that. So when a person comes to that new darkness, he should know because Baruch Hu wants to enlighten him in a new light of betachon, of Hashgacha Prutis, of Me'al Teva, which he couldn't get there without the choshech. The Baruch Hu should help. Chassidim used to say, Psilis Ishmanim. The Mishnah says, or a oil, or a psila that all year round you're not able to use it for Shabbos, but b'Chanukah madlikim b'hem. Why? Because Chanukah, because Baruch Hu goes down to the lowest of the lowest in order the ner ish ibaisei. What is ner ish ibaisei? There was a whole klal Yisrael out there. All of them became Yevunim. What is Yevunim? Yevunim is I see, I believe. I don't see, I don't believe. So actually, the whole Shemen became Tumah. But the Gemara says there's a Pachsha Shemen. There's always that small pintel of a Yid that never goes out, which Avram Avinu with his Amina brought us into that place. What is that Pachsha Shemen? That is the Amina Hativis that a person has, that it can enlighten itself to such a way that it can burn all teva and then live with such a betachon that I should have such a shgucha according to my advice. That's the whole thing. So the Shamshon Full Hish says that we find in the Tefillah we say b'mei matis yuri kohen gul chashmenu ivunov. Where there's only one family that rescued the whole Klal Yisrael. So Shamshon Full here said, if I wouldn't be afraid, I would close down all the shuls, he said one day. Why? Because in those days in Germany started the Haskula, and people were coming into the shuls and had beautiful shuls and beautiful dresses and beautiful chazans and beautiful everything, but at home there was no Yiddishkeit anymore. So he said the whole shul is only a Beis Mikdash ma'at. The main Beis Mikdash today is in the home of a person. Usili Mikdash, shochanti besoichem, says Rashi, asili bais kedisha. I need your home to be a place of kedisha. That means ner ish ibaisai. Once you light up your home, even a small candle, but it lights up the whole world more than all the lights that you're going to build up, open it in Besmerdish, and your home won't be there. So that's what the Torah says, but there was there, Chashmenui Ivuna, from the whole Klal Yisrael, there was one family that was near Ishu Baisei, and their schiz were able to lit up the whole world. So everybody in his home, it's a time for quality time, with Mishpucha together. That's the biggest ner Ishu Baisei. You should be able to give in a minute and betachon in all your ways and atzlucha gesundheit. Any questions?
Recording stopped.
Shkoyach shloime. Shalom Chesky.
Shkoyach, Rabbi, shkoyach.
Shkoyach.
Thank you very much, Rabbi.
Anytime, we're always here. We hope we make it next week till we Gesundheit.
Baruch Hashem.
Ich gibt's a Chassen, aber wir gibt's a Chassen.
Ich bin
auch nicht gern, aber ich habe noch vorgestellt, dass ich dort noch auch nicht gern. Gisteren Schleim, ich gesagt, das ist nicht so. Shalom, Myla.
I came to Bnei today, but the Rebbe wasn't there.
So next time, ask me.